Before we jump into today's Chiefs playoff picture video, who is going to earn the number one seed in the AFC in your opinion? If you think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills, who hold that top spot right now, type BUF. If you think it'll be the Chiefs, who are the number 2 seed right now, type KC. If you think it's going to be the Bengals, only one game back, type CIN. 3-team race for the top seed in the AFC. Who's going to get it? Let us know what you guys think. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. And on today's show, we got an updated AFC playoff picture outlook, where the Chiefs sit into it, as we do have a 3-team race between the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals as they chase that number 1 seed. And the reason it really is down to these 3 teams is they're all within a game, and, you know, Baltimore at 9-5 with some tiebreakers technically could get back up there, but I don't see Buffalo and Kansas City both losing twice. So I do really think you're looking at Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati as the 3 teams that could get the top seed. We'll break down the whole playoff picture. Tennessee slipping in the AFC South. Wild card race tightening up. A lot to break down today with just 3 weeks to go. But as it relates to the Chiefs with Buffalo and Cincinnati, both Buffalo and Cincinnati will have the head-to-head tiebreaker over Kansas City. Now, if it were to end up being a 3-team or 3-way tie, say they all ended up 13-4 or something like that, then different tiebreakers come into play. I think the first tiebreaker is win-loss record over common opponents. So I do think the Chiefs are going to be held back there, though, too, potentially. So if you're Kansas City, it's kind of simple. You look at the final 3 games against Seattle at home, Denver at home, and at the Raiders, 3 games that you should win. You need to win. You need to win your final 3 games. And if you do that, it guarantees you the number 2 seed, but you would have a decent chance at that number 1 seed, because then Buffalo would just need to lose once or tie once. You got to win out. That's got to be the approach, and you should win out. You've skated by against Denver and Houston, 2 not very good teams. That should wake you up. Seattle coming into town, they're going to bring it because they're 7-7 fighting for their playoff lives in the NFC. You better show up at home on Christmas Eve and win that game. And then Denver's going to look to play spoiler. And then the Raiders at 6-8 in Week 18, if they win these next 2, get to 8-8, they could have an outside shot at a wild card bid. So 3 games to go. You got to be focused. You got to be ready to go, because if you lose a game and Cincinnati wins out, you fall to the 3 seed, because the Bengals have that head-to-head record over you, which that is obviously not what you want. Now, will the Chiefs win their final 3 games? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think they should. I think they will. But the last 2 weeks, that hadn't given me crazy confidence that they'll do that. I still think they'll get it done. Y for yes and for no. Will the Chiefs win their final 3 games? Now let's compare the other 2 teams in the mix for the number 1 seed. You look at Buffalo's remaining schedule, Week 16 at Chicago. Now, normally you would say, it's an easy win. Bears are tanking. They don't even want to win, which there might be some truth to that. But we did just see the Bears almost beat the Eagles on Sunday. They've been close in a lot of games all year, so Buffalo needs to be ready to go there. At Cincinnati, that's obviously the game we'll talk about in a sec. And then Week 18 at home against the Patriots. We'll see if New England's still in the hunt by then. Obviously, the way they lost this weekend really hurt their chances moving forward. Cincinnati's schedule here also at New England this week. That's a must-win for the Patriots. Must-win for Cincinnati to keep pace for the top seed. And then Week 17 against the Bills at home, and then Week 18 Baltimore at home. Week 18 could be AFC North division on the line, but Week 17, all eyes are on that matchup. Bills, Bengals. If you're the Chiefs, you want the Bengals to win that game, because if you're Kansas City, you should be thinking, okay, we're going to win out. We're winning our final 3 games. So if Cincinnati beats Buffalo, then you got the number 1 seed, and that's a good thing. That's what you want heading into the playoffs. So all eyes are on Week 17. Bills, Bengals. That's the biggest game of the year remaining in the AFC to determine who is going to get that number 1 seed. If Buffalo wins it, they're probably going to get it. They'll probably win their other 2 games. If not, I don't know. It's up for grabs. Chiefs, do your part. Win your final 3 games. More playoff picture stuff to analyze here, but Rocket Money is sponsoring today's show, and if you want to save some money, do it with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. Download the Rocket Money today. Keep track of those expenses. And, hey, I got a son on the way next April, and I've already started to budget to finance because, we're going to be adding more bills to our plate with daycare and all that stuff. So you got to stay on top of your bills and all of that. And what's cool about Rocket Money is once you get signed up and get your banking info kind of tied in there, they're going to show you all of your subscriptions on one screen. And you might be shocked at how much per month you're paying in subscriptions. Most Americans think they're spending less than $100 per month. Reality is you're probably spending over $200 because prices go up. You may not even realize you're paying for subscriptions still that you signed up for years ago. Well, guess what? You're still getting charged. RocketMoney.com/ChiefsChat. View all your subscriptions on one screen, and if you don't want a certain subscription anymore, click cancel next to that particular one. Boom, Rocket Money takes care of it for you. You're not going to be getting charged anymore. You are good to go. So go to rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat, formerly known as Truebill. It is now Rocket Money. Save money with Rocket Money and optimize your finances. All right, another look here at the playoff picture before we talk about a few other teams. I think next we should talk about the AFC South. I mean, Tennessee at 7-7. It's kind of crazy. The winner of that division is going to host a playoff game now. Tennessee has just been in free fall mode really since they almost upset the Chiefs. They have not looked right since. Ryan Tannehill's banged up now. He's going to try and play through injury, it sounds like. But Jacksonville's gotten hot here, and you look at this comparison or the remaining schedule in the AFC South. Tennessee's got Houston at home this week, so that's a game they should probably win, even if they're banged up. But Texans have been playing better. But then they play the Cowboys. Yes, it's at home, and I know Dallas has struggled a bit recently, but I'd pick Dallas to win that game. And then you've also got the do-or-die game against Jacksonville, whereas the Jags have at the Jets this Thursday Night Football. They need to win that. Should win at Houston. If Jacksonville wins out, they're in. With Tennessee losing this past week and Jacksonville upsetting the Cowboys, the Jags officially control their own destiny, because if they win out and the Titans, even if they win 2 of their final 3 before that final game and lose the Jags will have the tiebreaker because they will have swept Tennessee. So Tennessee's in trouble, and with the way these teams are trending right now, I think I would pick Jacksonville to win that division. Now, Thursday night's going to be key. They got to beat the Jets. But I'll tell you this, I would much rather have to face Tennessee in a playoff game right now than Jacksonville. You know why? Because Trevor Lawrence is starting to play like a top 10 NFL quarterback. And even if Ryan Tannehill gets healthy, and I respect his toughness, he's not a top 10 quarterback. I'd much rather go up against Derrick Henry in that defense that has given the Chiefs trouble than see Trevor Lawrence sling it around. Like that's the definition of a team. You always hear this in March Madness, right? Like, that's a team you don't want to see in the tournament. You don't want to see the Jags in the tournament because they got a veteran coach in Doug Peterson, a hot quarterback in Trevor Lawrence who's ascending. I'd rather play Tennessee. We'll see what happens over the final 3 weeks. All right, if you want daily Chiefs videos for free, hit that subscribe button. We'll continue to update the playoff picture on a weekly basis as well. Subscribe today. We're going to have you covered, even during the holidays, videos every single day. There might be a random off day here and there with the Christmas week here, but pretty much daily videos here on the channel, so go ahead and subscribe. All right, let's see here. So what else do we have to talk about? Wild card. Let's talk about the wild card hunt because, Dolphins lost 3 in a row. Lamar Jackson's been banged up. They lost this weekend, so they fell into the wild card picture. Chargers, they've kind of, steadied the ship. They're in a pretty good position. So let's look at some of these remaining schedules here. Baltimore, sounds like Lamar's going to be back this week. Pretty manageable, right? They probably only have to win one more game to secure a playoff spot. But if they're still thinking AFC North, which if they win out, they do win the division because they beat Cincinnati the first time around, only 1 game back. So you do the math. If they win out, even if Cincinnati wins their other 2, Baltimore would have the tiebreaker. Falcons this week at home. I think Atlanta's cooked. They're done. They're going to win that game. Steelers at home. They've been better recently. That's a game Baltimore should win, though, especially if it's Lamar. Then it comes down to that Bengals game in Week 18. So we'll see if they get back into the division picture or not. Chargers remaining schedule. They're in, guys. I mean, this would be the most Chargers thing ever to blow it when they have Colts, Rams, Broncos remaining. None of those teams are good. And in the Rams case, they're not even trying to win, although I do think they're trying to evaluate Baker Mayfield, so we'll see. But the point is, Chargers only have to win 2 of 3. Which 2 teams are going to beat them? Like, they're in. Chargers are going to be in. So Dolphins, I think even though they lost 3 in a row, I would still expect them to get that other playoff spot because they played damn good in the snow in Buffalo. They should beat Green Bay next week. Patriots losing this past week, and especially the way they did, that bodes well for Miami. And then Jets at home. And, I think the Jets lose to the Jags this week. So if that happens, Dolphins are in a good position. And I think those two teams, Miami and the Chargers, they're dangerous wild card type of teams because they're teams that can score. Now, the Chargers, we know their tracker. Oh, they Charger. They got Justin Herbert, though, man. You get him in a playoff game, anything could happen. Tyreek Hill's running around for the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle. I mean, these guys are just running past Bills corners the other night in the snow. Like, you're just like, oh, they caught out, they're gone. Like, I mean, they're dangerous. So AFC's tough, man. AFC is very, very tough. It's going to be a fun finish. I mean, you got other teams, the Patriots still fighting, Jets. Any of these 6-8 teams going to get into the mix? I don't think so, but you just don't know what's going to shake out over these final 3 games. Now, which wild card team or potential wild card team scares you the most? Is it the Chargers, even though the Chiefs have owned this division? There's been a lot of tight games with them over the years. Maybe them? Let me know. Which wild card team do you think is most would scare you the most here? All right, Week 16 notable games, some games to monitor this week. Jags-Jets Thursday night. That's kind of an elimination game, especially for the Jets. Jacksonville would still have a path in the AFC South if they were to lose, but the Jets 7-7, they got to win that game at home to stay alive in the AFC wildcard race, so keep an eye on that one. Seahawks at Chiefs, obviously our game here, the Chiefs. You want to keep pace here, so got to win that one. Bills at Bears. Again, I'd be surprised if Chicago won that, but you never know. Justin Fields, you kind of keep thinking, he's going to steal one of these games. It's kind of a one-man show right now, but obviously one to monitor. If they lose, Chiefs win. Chiefs retake the number 1 seed, obviously. Bengals at Patriots. Big game, especially for New England. They got to bounce back after losing in that manner, and especially because their path was kind of they need to beat the Raiders. Well, now they got to beat someone they're not supposed to, which I would say Cincinnati qualifies, so they got to win that game to keep pace. And then Raiders at Steelers. That's kind of a distant one, but they're both 6-8, so the loser of that is officially out. Winner would have a slight chance to still be alive in for that number 7 seed, so keep an eye on that one as well. All right, there you have it, kind of an in-depth look at the AFC playoff picture with 3 weeks to go. It's tightening up. Things are going to get interesting. Some fun Christmas Eve and Christmas Day games this year, so we'll keep eyes on all of it here at the Chiefs Report.